Did the alien race Anunnaki that created humans fuse our chromosomes using DNA? Well, actually they did. And there's the two fused chromosomes. Now, mainstream will tell you it's all evolution, even though primates didn't have that except for us. Now, why would the Anunnaki even create Homo sapiens? As says in their ancient text, which I've read out, you can go and research. They needed extra help to mine for gold. Long story, go do some research. So what benefit would there be fusing chromosomes? Well, structural stability. Perfect, because when you're creating a new species from hominids and their own DNA, you need stability. Enhanced fertility. Why would they need more people? Well, they only had 7 males and 7 females to start with, so they needed us to breed. And genetic variation, there was only 7 males and 7 females, as stated in the ancient text. But this is all impossible, isn't it? No one can fuse chromosomes. Well, actually, yes, scientists for the first time, researchers have fused. Religious people, please scroll past this video. Okay, for everyone else, I have been doing a video series called The Lost Book of Our True History, which is basically proving that Zecharia Sitchin's book about aliens creating humans is correct. And my video is called The Lost Book of Our True History. So I'm actually backing up Zecharia Sitchin. And in fact, so much so that I've proved on my videos that space is heaven, using evidence from ancient texts. I've also proved Ezekiel met Enlil, proof, actual proof. And I've even proved in my videos that the Anunnaki is a real name for a real group of large people that weren't men. But if you're interested in these videos, as an hour and 5 already minutes of these documentary, it's going to be, I don't know, 20 parts long, but so much evidence has already been done, and it's in my Patreon page, patreon.com, Our True History. Go watch the proof. Do you really still believe mainstream science, or should you be following me? This is talking about the fused chromosomes that humans have and no other primate has. So it says here, scientists estimate that the fusion event leading to human chromosome 2 occurred between 3 and 4 million years ago. Okay, humans were only here 300,000 years ago, so how does that work? Well, it says leading up to, but no other primate ever has our fused chromosomes. We have 46 because we've got 2 fused chromosomes. Everyone else has 48. And even the hominids, you know, Neanderthal, etc., didn't have any fused chromosomes. It's unique to, well, that technically should say Homo sapiens. And of course, Homo sapiens came along 300,000 years ago, so therefore scientists are lying when they say millions of years ago, because they don't want us to know that the Anunnaki created the missing link which created the Homo sapiens. Aliens created humans, fact. Ancient dinosaurs, genuine carvings from ancient times. Are these dragons, or are these different types of creatures something else? It's very interesting how they've got these weird carvings of things. Look at that one. And these long-necked dinosaurs, which we do see again in different places. There's a really weird one. And there's the long-necked dinosaurs that they would have only been able to draw if they'd seen it. Do you not agree? Oh, and there's little people standing next to an Anunnaki. Funny the size difference there, isn't it? As it says in the ancient tablets, the little people they called us. This part of an hour-long video I'm showing you is part 4, where Ezekiel says that he sees the Lord sitting on a lapis lazuli throne.
26. Above the vault over their heads was what looked like a throne of lapis lazuli, and high above on the throne was a figure like that of a man.
Okay, don't hate me everybody, and this is my research.
Speaking. What have we learned from this? The Anunnaki wore removable wings, either for show or for flying. Ezekiel in the Bible, thousands of years later, happens to mention the same things the Anunnaki had used. Masks, wings, even a lapis lazuli throne. Funny thing is, we actually have the text from the Sumerians talking about building Enlil, one of the Anunnaki princess, a throne made with, yes, you guessed it, lapis lazuli. A praise poem of Isme-Dagon.
It goes on, but basically, Patreon, would you agree this is the same? Genesis 1:1, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Now this is the older text that the Bible would have copied from in those days when the heaven and earth were created. There you go, it's the same. However, in those nights, and in those nights when the heaven and earth were created, in those years when the fates were determined, when the Anu gods were born, plural, and the goddesses, interesting, were taken into marriage, when the goddesses were distributed in heaven and earth, that's space, not heaven, when the goddesses, missing, became pregnant and gave birth, when the gods were obliged to their food, dining halls, the senior gods oversaw the work, while the minor gods, bearing the toil of working in the mines for the gold, for the Anunnaki, the gods were digging the canals and piling up the silt in Harare. The gods crushing the clay began to complain. This is why we ended up with humans, because they made us to do their work.